My name is Alan.
My name is Evan. And
welcome to All My Friends.
Dude, that was so legit. And we are back for another episode of All My Friends. I said it 2 episodes ago, but I was wrong. We are officially teenagers, Alan.
Now we are.
Now we are
teenagers.
Episode 13, an electric episode. We keep on trucking along. You know, this is the podcast world. The world that doesn't sleep. It doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop. It doesn't sleep.
A lot of people take days off. We don't.
Except for that 2 weeks it took us to put out an episode.
That's true.
But we didn't take it off. We're kind of busy.
We're going to plead the fifth on that one. I don't really know what that phrase means, but
sounds like a good one.
We apologize for the delay for all of the millions of listeners that we have that were highly disappointed because they were waiting bated breath for us to release episode 12. It was an electric one when it released, even if it was a few days late. We were inhaling pounds of dust at Coachella. Is that a good excuse?
Absolutely. I mean,
good enough for me. You can literally.
I probably still have a few pounds in there of dust.
Oh, I might get people sick via this audio because I'm still recovering from Coachella.
Yep.
That was a legitimate cough, people. That wasn't posed or staged at all. Yes, we did go to Coachella. We've got a great episode for you all today, though. Episode 13 features Sophie of Soccer Mommy, one of our favorite bands of the year, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Easily.
I mean, we both had one of her songs in our top 10.
If you listen to episode 12 and 11,
exactly,
you would have got those.
Yep.
Sounds cool. Yeah, she was fantastic. But of course, before we get there, we do have some segments to break down for you all. Also, big thanks for anyone who, if it's your first time listening, or if you've been listening for 13 straight episodes, we love you.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Everyone is welcome.
Everyone is welcome. You all are our friends. So we got to do a recap of what happened this last week in music, and it actually was a big one. I know we always say it was a big one, but this was a big week in music.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. We'll start off with a little bit of sad news.
Very sad news, actually.
Avicii, very famous producer. I'm sure you've heard Levels if you listen to any music at all, basically.
Any of it.
He passed away at age 28.
Way too young.
Very young. He had retired from music 2 years ago due to health concerns and, just health in general. So
he wasn't happy too.
Yeah,
he was I know that he had struggled with some stuff, addiction or alcoholism, I believe. But he had stopped. Being a professional musician so he could enjoy music, which is always a sad thing to think about.
Absolutely.
The industry essentially turned him in, or at least brought out the side of him that he didn't enjoy, which sucks, you know. But yeah, it is a very sad thing. Avicii, I know for a lot of us 20-some-year-olds who, whether you liked electronic music previously before Levels or not, it did bring it to a different forefront. Yeah,
I mean, it definitely was one of those songs that really brought electronic music to the popular, stratosphere it is now, to EDM, basically.
It kickstarted that whole thing.
Yeah.
That whole thing.
So, rest in peace.
Yeah, seriously. Make sure if you're listening to this, listen to the entire thing, download, subscribe, resubscribe, tell a friend, and then listen to Levels or Fade into Darkness or any of these huge songs of his, because he really was, he probably got some crap for being a radio producer by the end of it, but he really did bring a whole lot to the music industry. So, R.I.P. to Avicii. But the week continues on. Still a lot that went down. Mr. Meek Mill. Free Meek, baby. He's out.
He's out.
Yes. So there is a very good feeling going around the city of Philadelphia because not only are their sports teams winning, but Meek is free.
Is he the biggest rapper getting out of jail kind of news that has happened? I can't recall.
Ever? Yeah, I remember when Lil Wayne went into
Lil
Rucker,
Wayne is a good one,
and I remember that being but then again, the free Meek thing has been happening for a while.
Yeah, this is
and it's happened a few times.
And no offense to Meek Mill, but his music isn't exactly the most popular. Lil Wayne was a bigger artist, though.
Right, Lil Wayne was definitely.
And
a
the fact
artist.
that Free, I mean, I guess the political situation behind Free Meek is different. So
yeah. And it's honestly the love that Philly has for that guy is insane, and that makes me so hyped.
Yeah.
So to see their sports teams winning, and then this, and it's not like Philly's an underdog city by any means, but man, I get so hyped every time I listen to Meek Mill now, just because I think I'm like, damn, this is cool. Like, say what you will about the guy, but I think he represents a bigger thing at this point too.
Absolutely.
So, shout outs to Meek. He is he the reason why Philly's on the rise right now?
Probably. Not the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. It's not the Sixers being good at basketball.
Yeah, or anything.
It's Meek.
It's Meek. Gosh,
not cheesesteaks.
Every city needs a Meek. Who's our Meek in Seattle?
Macklemore.
Yeah, I'm right with that. Meek Lamore. Ooh, that was actually pretty good.
No,
turned out a little bit better than I thought.
Free Mac.
What would Macklemore go to jail for? Let's go quick. What would Macklemore go to jail for? Jaywalking.
Not helping a lady cross the lady cross the street.
He would buy stuff. He would buy like bootleg clothes and then get in trouble for it. I know that I obviously thrift shop, whatever, but he like is an avid buyer of like supporter of like knockoff kind of stuff. He would do that and somehow get in trouble for it. That's a realistic thing.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I can't really envision him.
He's like Martha Stewart. Like, why did Martha Stewart go to jail?
Isn't that taxes and stuff? No,
or it was like insider
trading. Yeah.
Which, is that even really a crime?
Yes. It's literally a crime because you can go to jail for it.
Yeah, it's not that much of a crime though. So yeah, Macklemore, stay out of the clink, my man. What do we got next?
J. Cole actually released his new album last Friday, and he broke the Apple streaming record with 64.5 million listens in 24 hours.
That's not real.
Yeah.
64.5?
64.5 million listens in 24 hours. He beat Drake's views album record by about 1 million. Like realistically though, I feel like albums
breaks Apple Music and Spotify. Yeah.
Music is just going to keep breaking these records because more and more people are using these streaming services.
Right.
So, while it's amazing that J. Cole did it, I'm sure like Drake's next album and other albums to come will keep breaking these records.
Yeah. The song KOD, which is the lead song on the record, also broke Spotify's opening day record for streams in the U.S. The track racked up 4.2 million streams in 24 hours, surpassing our girl, T Swift.
Yep.
Taylor Swift, look what you made me do. There's something, as much as I love Taylor, there's something that's reaffirming about this song topping that song.
Yeah, because hers isn't good.
No, hers is totally solid. Hers is good. Hers is misunderstood. And it's not because it's not because she's
good PR from Evan Johnson.
It's good. I'm looking out for T Swift, but shout outs to J. Cole. We talked about him a few times, which is kind of funny because we're not the biggest J. Cole fans.
But
I'm down with it.
Shout out to people making it.
Yeah, man. We're journalists in this business, Al. So we got to cover the shit that happens. The stuff. Excuse me. Real journalists would not curse.
Okay, we're not like that good at journalists, so we still curse.
Yeah. Well, we've got a little segment called Quick Summary.
Yeah.
Ooh, you like that? Quick Summary. I just came up with that. We're gonna do where we kind of do a summary of something that we, Alan and I, because you all are big fans of us and we're all friends, do a little story time of something that we went to, and as we had told in the last episode, we did venture down to Coachella.
Yep.
So, quick summary. Al, go ahead.
It was really good. It's the festival itself is really very impressive as far as like the artistic vision of it. Like it looks beautiful. At beautiful. Night, it's like lit beautiful. The stages are like all lined up. It's really cool. It's massive. It's too big almost.
It looked. So here's what it is. It's like a rose. A rose looks beautiful, but if you touch a rose, it hurts you.
Thorns,
you like
sure.
That? Thorns. You like that? That's pretty good. It did look beautiful, and there were definitely times where I was like kind of taken aback by the environment that we were in, and then I'd be like, "Oh!" And then as I inhaled to say "ah," I choke on a clump of dust, and then some girls step on my feet, and they're dressed with rhinestones on their faces and have like an outfit I've never seen before in my life as they're taking selfies, and then some bros elbowed me in the head as they're going to the EDM tent. And then I realized that I paid $22 for 2 Heinekens, and that's what it was.
Yeah, those are all true.
Like that? That was pretty good.
My biggest qualm was We thought about going to see Post Malone. So we started walking.
God.
We started walking towards the tent that he was playing in. Giant tent. Probably the biggest mistake
It's
of
like
the
an airplane
weekend.
hangar. It wasn't even a tent.
Biggest mistake of the weekend. We got caught with the stage to our left that we couldn't go to.
Yep.
A bar area to the right.
Yep.
And crowds, and by crowds I mean oceans of people, front and back. We tried to get out of that for like 30 minutes, just walking and walking through seas of people away from the stage. And I never really feel claustrophobic, but I was just like, wow, I am never going to get out of here. And I'm just surrounded by thousands of people.
What is that thing when in an actual ocean when across
Swimming?
Yeah, swimming. But when like the current, riptide? Riptide. Yeah. It was a riptide.
Yeah, we were caught in the
We're
riptide.
literally getting pulled different ways.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was overwhelming. So the festival can be overwhelming. I will say, I thought it was overrated. Yeah, it was beautiful and it was amazing, like the production level. And it's, if I really wanted to be able to see Beyonce and Eminem within a 24-hour span, that's the place to do it.
Yeah.
Cool. But like, it was the most antisocial festival I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. Like no one wanted anything to do with anyone.
Everyone's there to
take the photo.
To be there, like to be seen, whether it's like actually because you're famous and be seen, or because like you're taking the photo to post for your friends later.
Right. More concerned with the people on the internet than with the people around there.
Absolutely.
We did have.
That being said, if it had been like two headliners that we really cared about.
True. If it had been Drake,
it would have been very different for us.
Yeah, it would have been.
We enjoyed Beyonce, for example. We enjoyed Eminem a lot. Both great headliners, but we weren't there for them.
I enjoyed Beyonce so much that I literally started losing blood because of it. I got a bloody nose in the middle of it because it was so dry and I bumped my nose.
Yep.
So I think I am more devoted of a fan than the entire Beehive because I did a blood oath to Beyonce.
Wow.
So.
Shout out to you.
I guess that I am I'm Team Cella, Team B,
Team Cella,
not Team Cella, Team Queen Bee, Beehive, Squad Goals.
You don't even know what it's called, so
the Beehive. That's what they call their fan base.
Name like 12 songs by Beyonce.
For me, 12. 12 is a weird number. Come on, man, you can't spring that on me. I could do 12, by the way. And that was our quick summary.
Yeah.
I kind of like that segment. We should do that for random things.
Yeah, we'll do it from our other little events or shows we go to.
Moving on to the next segment, we do have a beef in music, bringing that one back, and this one goes to one of our favorite acts we saw at Coachella.
Yeah,
Mrs. Bacardi, aka Cardi B, is getting sued by her former manager. Her former manager is suing her for a whopping $10 million. Claiming basically that he began working with Cardi in 2015 after she sought him out, and then when Cardi got to a certain level of success, he dropped her, telling everyone around.
She dropped him.
She dropped him, and she allegedly told the people close to her, including Offset, that he was stealing money from her, and that's why. So,
now,
defamation, I believe, is the political term.
I was going to say, is it defamation? Because unless she, truly, caught a contract that she couldn't, something she had signed, and she, just illegally broke out of the contract.
Yeah.
What is he suing her for?
He's suing her for saying that he put out a bad reputation of her. So defamation. I think that's what it is. Basically stating that.
Is it defamation if I make it big and then I'm with my family and my friends because she's dating Offset, right? Is that who it was?
Yeah, Offset.
So if I tell my girlfriend my old manager wasn't really that good, that's defamation?
No.
Defamation is you're putting it out there in the business.
She told people in her close circle that he was stealing money from her. So whether that, I don't know. I think he's saying that that's not true. So she was creating lies to hurt his reputation.
Seems
first off,
very, very paper thin.
Well, this is the government system that we live in, Alan.
It just seems like he's bitter that he got dropped.
I would be bitter too.
I'm not saying it, I don't get why.
You see the ring that she's got right now? It's crazy. Here's a little piece of advice for this ex-manager. Maybe don't sue a mother-to-be, because we should be supporting the mothers and women of this country. Not
Mother's Day's coming up.
Not trying to take $10 million from them.
Yeah.
Although $10 million at this point for Cardi, That's still a lot of money.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get bad with the old net worth and all that stuff. So, but yeah, Cardi, we're looking out for you. Don't worry, thoughts and prayers for that wallet of yours. Beat the case,
Yeah.
Free Cardi. Maybe we don't want to say that yet. Probably a bad idea.
So our last segment usually is a very happy one for us. Typically, it's great.
It's become a weekly.
It's a
thing
weekly
too.
thing. This time, we almost didn't really want to talk about it.
It's half happy.
We have to. Half happy. Do you want to start with the happy part, I guess?
Yeah, so we've got a Kanye sighting. For those of you who have been living under a rock, Kanye's been in the news in the last week or two for a few reasons. The positive one is that he did tease 2 albums. Since he's been back on Twitter, he's kind of let loose. And he did tease 2 albums, one of them coming on June 8th, which is a solo album. No real details on that other than it is coming. And one on June 1st and then June 8th. The June 8th album apparently is a collaboration with Kid Cudi, and they go by the group name We Are Ghosts. It sound like anytime that there's a Kanye buzz, I'm down. Like
yes.
I'm all ears.
When it's music related.
I'll be looking for it. Yeah, music related Kanye is where I'm at. And I'll keep my finger on the pulse there because I've loved every Kanye record out for different reasons.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's been a very diverse artist. Unfortunately, he also
Followed it up.
has decided to just take on Twitter to express all his ideas. Some of them...
All of them.
Good. Some of them interesting. Some of them very weird. And some of them just disappointing.
Controversial.
He's tweeted photos of himself with a Make America Great Again hat.
Yep.
He tweeted supporting Trump. Trump replied to him saying, like, thank you, Kanye. It's been a bummer.
An hour ago, he tweeted a picture of a science lab.
That's
who knows?
cool.
Maybe he's
cooking something up.
In the lab.
But yeah, basically, I think the worst one was John Legend, who was his friend, reached out to him via text and just told him, hey, I hope you kind of reconsider what you've been posting. You know, his telling Kanye your reach is very large and it's very influential, and a lot of young, people look up to you, and so you should be very aware of the platform you have. And Kanye just tweeted a photo of the text and basically said, like, nope, I'm going to do what I want to do.
I love you, John, and I appreciate your thoughts. You bringing up my fans or my legacy is a tactic based on fear used to manipulate my free thought. Man.
Yeah.
Kanye also used the crying, laughing emoji.
Yeah.
So Kanye, I think he just discovered what emojis are, which is awesome.
That's cool, I guess.
But
I'm just bummed.
I'm bummed too. And I've stayed off it until now, and now I'm looking into it, and I can already tell that I'll be bummed too.
Yeah.
So I think it's now time to throw on our favorite Kanye song and just sit in this little, like...
imaginary box?
Yeah. Sit in this imaginary box that the rest of Kanye can't get into, but the music just sits there. We'll sit in the headphones for it.
Yeah. We'll stay in touch, but we'll... Man, I don't want to find out too much.
I don't either. And I also, like, if in a crazy world Kanye West came on the podcast, not a crazy world, it'll happen eventually, but if he came on our podcast, I don't know if I would take it. I mean, I would, obviously we'll do an interview with him, but I would be scared. I would be a little worried.
Nah, we just talk music.
I don't even know if that would work. If I just feel like there's something else going on there.
Yeah.
So, Kanye, I mean, we love you. It's always good. It's good that the Kanye sightings have become a weekly part of this podcast. But it's not easy being a Kanye West fan. But then again, if you're supporting Donald Trump and all the crap he's done, then I think it's rough. Have some decisions made. But anyways, we don't need to end our segments on a negative note because we have a fantastic interview.
We have a great one.
A great one, indeed.
They're all great, as always.
They're probably the best interviews ever created, actually.
Probably.
Safe to say that?
Easily.
Yeah, easily.
Yep. Way to stay humble, guys. And this one was, like you said, with Sophie from Soccer Mommy. Mm-hmm. It was... I think we kind of mentioned it last week. It was a great conversation. Mm-hmm.
As we aim for on this podcast.
Yes. We just chatted with her about, the music industry, being a female up and coming kind of artist.
And all the things that she has to go through in that position. We talk a lot. We also talked about cool stuff. I mean, not cool stuff, but we talked about, it was cool. More casual things. She's got a great taste in music, so we dove into some of her favorite things, her high school life, all that kind of stuff. So it was awesome, and we are still kind of reeling from being able to get that interview at all. So let us fanboy out,
Exactly.
Just a couple fanboys, big fans of the band.
Absolutely.
So with that, let's get into it. Here's Soccer Mommy.
Mary has a heart of coal. She'll break you down and eat you whole. I saw her do it after school. She's an animal. And she won't ever love no boy. She treats you like a fucking toy. She'll break your heart and steal your joy like a criminal. I wanna know her like you. I wanna know her like you. I wanna be that cool. I wanna be that.
We are in an undisclosed location in Seattle, Washington, with a big Taylor Swift fan, apparently.
Yes.
We have Soccer
Ooh.
Mommy on, also known as Sophie,
Yes.
right? Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Welcome. Good. Thanks for sitting down with us.
Yeah, of course.
I think Alan's got the first question.
Yeah. So just to start off, back in like May of 2015, you said you needed to surround yourself with more Libras. So I'm a Libra. You're welcome.
My boyfriend's a Libra.
Oh.
What is the meat shop?
The meat shop. Oh, that is a venue in, I think I'm right, a venue in upstate New York, right? At,
Yeah.
what's that school in the Bronx?
I don't know.
Fordham.
Aren't you?
Fordham.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't been in New York in so long.
In a while, yeah. You're already forgetting the
Yeah, that was the first full band Soccer Mommy show
first full
First
band
full
ever?
band.
Really?
in New York.
Oh, okay,
Sorry.
I was going to say.
Yeah,
it's
we'd
like,
already-
whoa, that feels like a
already
very
done that.
important question. We actually started. It's not a venue anymore, is it?
I don't know.
I heard
think
it
is.
shut down.
Did it really?
Yeah. So you were one of the few
Oh,
shows,
damn.
like 100 or so
It was
shows. right there.
sick.
Was it cool?
It was really fun. It was a fun night.
Like a house party kind of vibe?
Yeah, it was a total house party vibe, which was different for New York.
Yeah.
I was so used to it in Nashville, and then I was
Yeah.
like, "This is where the house parties are."
Feels like.
You just got to go into the Bronx to Fordham,
There you go.
to where it's not like all apartment parties, where it's just people chain smoking in a
On a
3
rooftop.
foot wide room with like no windows.
Are there a lot of apartment shows in New York?
No, not shows, but like parties.
Okay.
Just more, maybe a DJ show.
Okay. There you go. It's
But-
New York. Big
You can
big-
tell we're big New York people.
Yeah, we've
We have
clearly
no
been to
idea.
New York a whole lot. I also didn't even really know where Fordham was or that it was even New York. So, wait, is it true that you were your high school's valedictorian?
I was.
Does
I
that question come up a
crowd surfed
bunch?
at my
You-
my graduation? I
was-
have a video.
You
wanna
seem
see
to
it?
know exactly what I was going to say there.
Yeah.
Is that a question
Were
you
you
get a
gonna
lot?
ask about that?
Yeah. You were your
Oh.
high school's valedictorian?
Yes.
God damn it.
Was
Is
that the
a
first
question?
time you crowd surfed?
No.
I also hear that you normally.
I was a pro.
Yeah. I've heard that you're a pro. You also hang like from the vents.
Wow, you're really
the
flashing
roofs?
back to high
This is
school
it.
me. I
Yeah.
was a hanger. I was a climber.
That seems to be a thing.
I love to climb.
Have you ever like ripped
What
an
a
air
rush.
vent down?
No, I'm light. I'm not gonna rip it down.
That's
I've
true.
hung on air vents.
Exactly. I'd never hung on an air
I've
vent because I
never.
would
Yeah,
rip it
exactly.
down. So I
I
assume
used
that
to
it's
go to shows and I would have a fanny pack with everything I needed in it.
which would be what?
Well,
what was
it
in
would be-
Soccer
it was like
Mommy's fanny pack?
chapstick.
Okay.
A water.
Okay.
I don't
Little
even
airplane
know,
shot,
like
maybe.
a little money.
Okay,
you
little
know,
money.
Cell
just
phone.
in case.
This is punk rock. High
This was
high
punk.
school, Sophie.
Yeah, this
okay.
is high school. High school me. It's
Were you-
garage rock.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
And the Nashville punk scene is actually great. Yeah.
it was great.
It was? Not anymore.
Well, okay. I mean, it's just I feel like for one, like every venue has shut down. Every house venue.
wow.
There was one left, and they're shutting. I think they shut their last show because they're coming back. This place, Dark Matter.
Ooh.
They are like
just trying to find a new place, I think. Because
Okay.
I think that the old place was just like getting kind of sketchy or something. I don't know. They decided not to renew their lease there, but they're like planning on, according to their Facebook,
Yeah.
they're planning on moving somewhere new. It's just like going to take a bit, and that's the only DIY venue that, I mean, there are a couple like clubs
Yeah.
that are,
But, like,
you can book a DIY
like a-
show, but like you
okay.
can't.
You can't have a house
It's
party.
kind of
basically,
hard.
kind
Yeah,
of
you
thing.
can't have a house party, and it's also like there's only really one where you can kind of book it if you don't have any following. The rest, it's kind of like you have to be
You
able
have
to
to
sell
have some
tickets,
type of
or you have to
fans.
get on. You know, someone has to ask you to be on a
Yeah.
bill. You can't book your
Yeah.
own show.
Yeah.
So I feel like that kind of hurt the punk scene a little bit, just because like if you don't have any houses, you can't really have a punk scene.
Right.
And I also feel like there's a lot of people that were in punk bands as they've gotten older have like stopped playing punk music. I mean, there's definitely still plenty of punk bands,
Right.
but it's less.
Do you feel like the sound has just changed to be more of like a garage rock sound, indie rock, anything like that?
I mean,
It's
it was
just-
always like kind of garage rock and punk, but I think there's some indie rock popping up.
Do you think like the indie, like Tronica indie kind of that side as well?
Kind of like Devo type stuff is popping up
Okay.
a lot.
Okay.
People are loving that.
Is this something I'm always curious? We talked about it a lot with Diet Sig when we had them on, of like how transitioning from a DIY band to playing hard ticket venues and like being successful in that, right, but also maintaining some of that DIY identity. And like how do you feel your career has been going from playing, you know, first of 3 shows in a house to playing like hard ticket 21 plus only clubs where it's not totally the style that you came up on, at least when Soccer Mommy started playing shows?
I feel like it's been pretty easy for me because I was kind of doing it in New York before. Like, I mean, when I was playing with a band in Nashville, I was definitely playing like these like DIY punk houses when I would play.
Just Sophie and the Cuties.
That was one show.
That was
it was
one
a
show.
secret name, and
That
I
was a
love that
secret show.
name.
It's a really great
I
name.
love the name.
And I was wondering because we were looking it up more, and I just kept on
couldn't
finding
find it.
ads for like Clementines
Yeah.
or like a
It's
bunch
a
of random
great
stuff.
name.
It's a really
I would
good
love
name.
to use it.
Could you do
at
it like
some
a
point.
DJ name? Like when you do a DJ set or something like that?
definitely.
Sophie and the Cuties. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
there.
I like it.
Okay.
What was I saying?
New York when
When I was in New York, yeah, when you play, I feel like in New York, the venue, since there's not house venues, they're a little bit more established. Even the DIY ones are just like, they have like better sound systems and you actually show up to sound check and it doesn't run on punk time. But so yeah, I mean, I feel like it just wasn't that hard of a transition. It was also like when I started playing shows, I already had a following slightly. Like the first show I played had a bunch of people there. It wasn't like an empty ass thing.
So how was that? How was that possible?
It was
great.
because of the Bandcamp
Just
shit.
Bandcamp.
Okay.
And I mean, well, actually, the first show I played didn't have a bunch of people there. The first one I played was in New York as a 2-piece, like a week before I played the bigger one, and it had like an okay amount of people. But
Yeah.
there was also definitely already people that knew about me a little bit. But when I released the Orchid Tapes thing, and I played a release show in Nashville, there were like a good amount of people there just
Yeah.
from hearing my stuff and hearing that this tape was coming out. And
Does Nashville
free,
have
too.
like a good, like, I don't want to say underground music scene, but like, you know, not, you know, popular music. Like New
That's
York
all it
strikes
has.
me.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because my perception of it is singer-songwriters go there
Yeah.
to make a lot of money writing songs
Yeah.
in
Exactly.
classy, in big
Exactly.
produced studios.
honestly,
And-
it is. I mean, there's not a lot of bands from the underground scene in Nashville that have like gotten huge. There's a couple that are, you know, touring bands that like make, you know, have a good fan
Yeah.
base and stuff. But there's, you know, I mean, if you go on Pitchfork, how many Nashville bands are you saying? It's not that many. It's just a different vibe for sure. It's a very underground thing. Like very, very much like bands that can do really well in Nashville aren't like
Going
indie
on-
bands.
yeah.
They're
Oh.
like bands that are tour circuit bands.
That just constantly are on the move and
Yeah, that constantly
Or,
come
like,
through
made
and they
to
know
play the-
someone in Nashville, so they
yeah.
like played a show with local bands that do really well, and now everyone loves, you know, it's like, I mean, not that it doesn't have anything to do with the music, it does. It's just that I feel like the way you sell a lot of tickets in Nashville when you're at like a low level is by being like a tour circuit type thing that comes through a lot and that people know you at this point. And it's like everyone knows it's going to be a fun party and like everyone like likes your music and knows it really well, rather than like an indie band that has like press.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does Nashville have like a good like, I don't want to say underground music scene, but like it's a different
Do you
thing
think
than that.
being from Nashville like influenced your interest in music at all, or do you think it just would have happened like no matter where you grew up? Because it sounds a lot like you weren't necessarily like into the Nashville music scene, and that wasn't really like
Or what it's known for.
what pushed you towards music, and was more probably just your own interest of
Mm-hmm.
music in general.
Yeah, I've been playing since I was like 5 and writing, so I don't think it was. I mean, I think maybe I started so early because it was in Nashville, but I don't know. I think I would have been doing it, regardless.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think like having such a really community oriented local scene definitely like pushed me to want to make music, just because it's like everyone. Like in New York, you don't really have as much of a community. You can find it. It's just like I feel like you kind of have to have a little clout behind you to find it.
Because people don't care.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like you randomly meet people through like Twitter who follow you, or like Facebook, or that are like, know these people, and then you meet them through that, or like you see these like local bands through your friend who's in the scene. It's just like you kind of have to have a way in just to be able to find it, because there's so much music happening. I feel like to be able to find it, you have to be like either just a huge follower of it and like really delve in, or you have to just like
Have a connection.
have like someone who introduces you to it a little bit.
Like welcomes you into the circle.
Not even just that, but just like lets you know where, like kind of shows you where it is. It's just hard to find.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's just, there's so many bands playing that might be like, and there's so many bands playing that might have like, you may have heard of through like Stereo Gum or something. So you can't really know which ones are like local people that like people your age are all going to see and like that are friends with all the bands that are your age. Like, you just can't know who's
There's no way
who.
to know that. Yeah. You've mentioned that moving to New York gave you like a lot more confidence in your own music because of the diversity in the city. Do you feel like the diversity in a city like New York is why New York is known for music more so than?
Yeah, I think
cities?
there's just so many people there, like,
Yeah,
and there's
it's
just
just a
and
matter
like
of, like, the
so much of the
volume.
industry is there too.
Yeah.
So it's just like, of course, you're gonna get bigger faster if you are in New York. Like that's where all the blogs are.
Right, but like
the press people are
the
going around.
diversity of
Yeah.
the city itself.
Yeah,
being one of
definitely.
the
I mean,
more
that just like
diverse-
makes it so there's so much like diversity in the music too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. No, I mean it's
I
like an
had to think
obvious. No, it's obvious. It's an obvious thing, but like I don't think. I guess like there's a lot of other cities not known for the same type of diversity as a city as big and sprawling as New York. That
I feel like also in New York, everyone just isn't. It's not even confidence. I don't think everyone's just like, you're such a small speck in a big crowd of people that you're not like, oh my god, if I like release this on Bandcamp, everyone's gonna make fun of me. Like
Yeah.
in a small
You just gotta
community, you're
do
like,
it.
if I release this, like
That's what,
everyone who's everyone, and it's shitty. Everyone who's everyone is gonna like hear about how shitty it. It's just like. Whereas in New York, it's like no one's gonna fucking see it,
Yeah.
so you're fine.
was that like thoughts of a young Sophie there? Is like when you were in Nashville, you were worried about putting more stuff out?
Yeah, it
'Cause-
was just like when people are like think it's shitty and like think I have shitty taste and like think I'm lame.
Do you ever have that concern now that you're
No.
putting out shitty music because it's really
Well,
good?
thank you.
music,
Well, I
so,
think it's
yeah,
more
you're
that
welcome.
I'm just like whatever. Like,
It doesn't
some of
matter?
these- like some of the people who will judge me have the shittiest taste, in my opinion. So it's like whatever.
Like what kind of music do they like to think?
Not
what
like
would be, like,
anyone
shitty?
specific. Not anyone specific, but like people on Twitter who just like are some
of
bro
course.
being like, "This is boring." I'm like,
Yep.
well, enjoy your like fucking Led Zeppelin
Yeah.
or whatever.
They
I don't
probably have
even
an
hate
egg.
Led
They got
Zeppelin.
the egg, like the egg avatar. They're not even like a cool
Yeah.
person. Yeah. See, that's how you know. I'm not even on Twitter, and that's
Or
how
they're
you
just
know.
like 40, and I'm like, you're gonna
Exactly.
die
Lame.
soon. I'm like, you're gonna be gone.
40-year-olds
I'm
on the
like,
internet.
I think my
on the
career
internet
will
is
be
like a very
blossoming.
specific
Yeah.
type of person on
Yeah,
Twitter or
I'm
like
like, you're
Facebook
going
that
through
just,
your
like,
midlife crisis, so I think
Yeah, I see why you're hating on a.
Yeah.
On a
And they're just
20-year-old
like-
I see why
This
you're
doesn't-
shitting on me.
yeah.
You're an adult man shitting
Your
on
life
me.
sucks.
Like I'm just
God, that
like
must suck.
I'm just like I am like a young, like freshly.
Is this? Sorry, I
No,
just
go ahead.
interrupted you. I'm just. This is a weird thing that for you and snail mail. I always think of that. This must be a weird. I would feel weird with all these like older. Like these older
Old
people in
man
music,
fans?
in it,
Yeah.
older, like
I
like
do.
going
The classic rock,
talking
like,
about your
talking about
music.
your music.
I don't know. I would feel a little odd. Do
Sometimes
you
I'll be
feel-
at a show and I'm like sitting there, just like letting people come up and like get autographs or whatever.
Yeah,
And there's
right.
just like a group of bros like 40-year-old bros like discussing it,
man
and I'm like,
bros.
I'm right here. You don't care what I have
That's
to say.
gotta
about
be
it.
weird.
Like, you don't care what I have to say about this. Like, you're
Yeah.
just discussing what the songs are like about, or like what the playing is. And I'm just like, I'm right here. You could just ask your
Yeah.
questions if you have them, but instead you're gonna just like be like, the guitar work is so intricate.
I just feel like it would be so odd, especially if you were as young as like when Snail Mail first played South by. I remember I was seeing some of those first shows, and at that point she didn't have an agent, so everybody was
Yeah,
there
everyone was
trying to
trying
like
to get her.
get in her face and shake her hand. And I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Like, this is a teenager, and there's like 45-year-old guys
Yeah.
from like LA flying here. I don't, it just felt weird.
It's a weird
And
vibe.
Good
Okay, this
intentions.
is-
They
I'm sure.
find old
I hope.
like that age group of men finds it really charming when you're just like not like mature and like smart, when you're just like, hey, fuck it, like whatever, bro, like, and you're just like super like crude. They're always just
That's
like,
what they-
ooh,
that's what they
like
respond
they're always
to.
just like, she's peppy,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
got sass,
She's feisty.
She's got an edge to
she's
her.
got sass, like.
God, okay. All you 40-year-old white guys. Stop
People
being
are weird though about like, especially about like young women. I feel like they just want to compare them like so much, and it's just like
to each other.
yes, and it's just
Yeah.
like, you're not like, why do you have to like one?
Yeah.
You just, you can only
Yeah.
have one young woman
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you like, because
That's-
you
you
can't
can't.
just like songs. Like, someone tweeted the other day. This wasn't a man. This was like a woman, and I was kind of like, girl.
Come on.
I was like,
We gotta
girl,
stand together
like,
here.
don't be like this.
Okay.
But she
Put
tweeted.
that- put the-
I
put the
actually
Twitter
I
handle
tweeted
out there.
back
Come
at
on.
her,
Oh,
and
really?
she deleted it.
Oh, you
She
gonna say
tweeted
shut 'em
something
up.
like, "Soccer mom," like, and tagged both of us at Soccer
She's
Mommy
asking
or
for it.
Snail
Yeah.
Mail Band, and why? Because both of them are the same thing to me. And I was just like, why would you do this? Don't tag me next time. And she deleted
Ooh.
it. And people were being like, what was it? And I was like, oh, I screenshotted it. So I'm gonna.
So don't
I'll
worry.
show you what it was.
Yeah.
It'll stay. Yeah.
Like, I was just like, girl, come on. Why would you, like, what's your reason for, also, why tag us?
Okay,
You
Yeah.
just want me to say
You're gonna
something?
just talk the
And
shit.
anything-
And then
Yeah.
I did, and she's like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, see.
She's like, it bites
they want a
back.
response. They want to be acknowledged.
Yeah.
But I will never understand in anything.
troll.
It's just like, why? If you don't like something, that's fine. But why like hate someone? Like, why go out of your way to make a comment about anything?
Right, no, why be
and like
public
that's
about
not
it?
even like the same thing, but just in general of like,
Yeah.
why do people like feel the need to be like, let me tweet at
I
Soccer
think
Mommy,
that's like a-
man, your
like-
music sucks. Like,
It's just
if you don't like
stupid.
it, that's fine. And like,
I
you
get
don't
like
give a fuck.
saying to like a friend, like, I don't like
Yeah,
that. It's
no,
boring.
exactly, but, like,
Like,
when you-
I get it. Like, everyone, you're expressing your opinion, but it's just interesting that I think when it's like someone has some sort of like platform, like they're kind of like have a minor level of fame or something, people are like, oh, that's like just, they're not like a person.
Yeah.
And then I'll just make them feel like shit.
Good.
I'm just
You
like,
get a lot
I'll
of
see.
trolls?
I mean, like, not too many.
Trolls, haters.
But like, I'll
we'll
see
throw that in the same
someone
group.
who like, you know, has like a bunch of similar like friends as me. Like, you know, like someone
Yeah.
who's like in the same kind of like has a bunch of mutual
Same circle,
followers
yeah.
that I have and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll see like their tweet will pop up because someone like
Yeah, someone
you know,
in your friends
someone
liked it or
liked
something.
it
Send it to you?
or just
Oh,
like or
okay.
someone responded or something, or you know, whatever. And it'll be like something like shitting on me, and I'm just like, I just will like it.
You're like, there you go. Thanks.
And then they
I like
always
that.
feel so bad. I
Do
can
they- do they ever,
like
like,
sometimes
DM
they'll be
you?
like, sorry.
What are you sorry about? You
And
said
I'm
it.
like, yeah, what'd you
Don't
think?
be sorry about it now.
I'm like,
I
yeah,
mean-
what'd you think? I saw it.
Yeah. It's the internet.
I'm like, why would you say it if you didn't want me to see it?
exactly.
If you thought that, like, why would you put it out on this huge platform?
Internet's a
They
crazy
think they're
place.
like, oh, I have a hot take.
Yeah.
I have a hot take, and
So
everyone's gonna be
dumb.
like, "Oh my god,
This is
I
so
agree!"
dumb.
Like, thank God someone said it finally. And it's just like, no, actually, like maybe you will get that, but then you're gonna get someone just responding, being like, "Damn, that's
Yeah.
mean."
Yeah.
It's just like, would you say that to my fucking face?
That's the
Right.
thing is like a lot of the stuff on the internet is like, would you say that to anyone to their face?
No.
Which is
And
like, would you say it to your
99%
friend
Yeah,
whose art you don't
99%
like?
of the time you wouldn't
Yeah.
do
Like
that.
if you don't like it's just like maybe I don't like your art. Am I out here being like blah blah blah? Like imagine if you were just some person like, you know, playing little coffee shop sets and stuff, and
Your
and
shit
someone was just
sucks.
like you suck.
Just show up from the
People
back,
are just
being
being
yo,
like,
you
people
suck.
are just tweeting about you being like,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah is so bad right now.
So you feel like people say it because you've reached a level of success.
Yeah,
Now
I
that
think
you're
it's just like, I think
successful,
it's just, they don't know me.
They just wanna tear you
It's
down.
not like, like, cause it's just like, would you say it to that about something you knew?
the coffee shop thing is great.
Would you
Yeah,
say it
the
about
idea of,
someone
like-
that you knew? No. So why are you saying it about someone who could easily see it that you just
Yeah.
don't know?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, it takes all the humanity out of it, and it's just like, now you're just an asshole, actually.
Yeah.
Like, you're shitting on them, but they're not an ass. And you
Yeah.
are being an ass.
I have the big issue with this with Taylor Swift, to bring her up again. The amount of times when that album came out that I saw like 50-year-old people in the industry writing on their Facebook, shitting on the Taylor Swift or like critiquing and analyzing it. It's like, this music is not for you, my friend. Like, this
You're
is
not
not
gonna vibe
made
with
for
it.
you. And it like, that's why you don't like it. Like, and why do you care? Stop it. Like, let this girl make music. And it's so frustrating
Yeah,
to me.
people
I feel
love
like
to be
there's
critics.
some-
I mean, in some ways, like people deserve criticism when it's like becomes like political stuff, things
Yeah.
like
I
that.
mean,
It's totally
but
something
there's
that
also-
it's fine to say. But there is also an interesting line I think with plenty artists where people expect them to be the voice of something, and it's like
Yeah.
they just don't have to be.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they're against
No.
it.
And I think it's different if you like not criticize, but if you're like, hey, like I'm like writing to compare like my thoughts on this album versus her last album and what I think like changed and stuff and like why I don't like it as much. That's one thing, and the other thing is to be like, wow, like Taylor Swift sucks. She's not talking about like Trump
or
enough
that.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like she doesn't
Which
have
like
to.
the thing
It's
is
her
like
life.
for me, it's like with issues like that, I'm like she should.
because her platform is
so big.
She should because she has a huge platform.
Right.
Like I think if you have a huge platform, it'd be a good thing for you to use it to make a statement. But at the same
Whole
time,
lot
it's
of
like
influence.
you're not. It doesn't necessarily mean you're against it if you don't say anything. But
Yeah.
because I mean, like with sometimes, like I don't know, it's just like people will just criticize whatever you do.
Yeah.
But I mean, in that situation, it's like the people who would be criticizing her if she said something bad about Trump are bad people. So it wouldn't be bad. But it's just like, I don't know. It's like you should, and it's good for you to. I just don't know if it, makes you a terrible person not to. It might just make you a private person who
Right.
has a huge level of has a is in the public eye constantly and
Yeah.
doesn't want everything you do to be public.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's it's a weird issue.
I think it's.
rides
I
a
think
line.
it's. I think it's interesting also from like if maybe Taylor Swift doesn't know. She's not well versed in some of these political issues that everyone's talking
I
about.
doubt
I don't
she
think
is.
that mean exactly. So why is there this weird expectation that
Because they're just
that-
like you should at least.
Right.
I mean, she
but what if
knows
she
she
doesn't
should at
know?
least know.
right? Of course,
Like-
there are some things, but like I don't know. It's thank God I'm not a pop star, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, it's annoying.
One
People
day
think
it's-
they like own you, and it's just like you don't. You can't say whatever you want to me. I've just started fucking blocking people immediately.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, and it can be like really mild.
It's just
Some
like,
guy will be like, "You look gorgeous," and I'm like, "You're
Boom.
never gonna
There it
see
is.
anything I post ever again."
Yeah, there
There's
it is.
a
They're probably like, "Why can't I see any
this
of
is
her
weird.
posts? Why would she block me?"
I thought,
and I'm
I thought I
like,
said a flattering
I'm like,
thing
did
here.
how many times have I tweeted or posted been like, "Don't talk to me about my appearance
Yeah.
in any sense"? And I mean, if you're a girl, you can be like, "Yes."
Yeah.
That's like not gonna
With
bother
an
me,
A,
but don't
right?
just
Okay.
don't make it sexual if I'm not
Right.
doing anything sexual, which I won't be for you. So
but even
You shouldn't
even
even
if you
have to
are,
worry about
there's
it.
still no need to comment.
it's just like, yeah,
Right.
there's no need, or it's just like something like be my oh my god, my love, be my girlfriend, and I'm just like, you're never gonna see anything I say ever again.
Some fucking random.
They'll be like, I'm in
stranger.
love with you, and I'm like, bye,
God.
you're gone.
Lauren
and you're
from
gone
Churches is
forever.
incredible at that
Yeah.
too.
It's just like I don't know, it's just such a thing. And I've tweeted before being like, if you tweet something or if you like, respond to something saying something like, I'm in love with you, like you're perfect, like, you're
Yeah.
beautiful,
Basically-
like just like, acting like you have
Like there's some
being
type of
a creep.
connection.
Like
Yeah.
if you were if I was just a normal person, this would be extremely
weird.
creepy.
Yeah.
So why do you
Yeah.
think it's okay?
Yeah.
And I've just like been like, if you do that, you're now gonna get instantly blocked forever.
Yeah.
And people immediately do it, and I'm like, you're
Did
gone.
you not read this
I
last
follow
tweet?
I'm
this
like,
guy
whatever.
on Twitter, Shay Serrano. He's a writer, and when people say he's a guy, so it's like different things that people say to him. But he immediately blocks them, and then he just posts about them. And it's like, oh, another one fell. Gotta block him, and he shows like what they said, and it just,
Don't be a fucking weirdo on that.
Well, it's just like, I mean, it's just like, I get why people think they can just be like, oh, like, I get it. I had a crush on Andrew Van Wingarden.
Okay.
You know?
Who else? What other
Julian
middle school crush?
Casablancas.
Okay, I
Like,
was
you
gonna
know,
say.
like, they're like, you know, stars that you have a crush on, but it's just like,
Hillary Duff was mine. I know
I
you're
mean,
curious.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, you know, it's just, it's really easy to not think about them and how they're going to react when they get that. Like, I mean, huge stars aren't even reading that shit.
What is
so
it when
doesn't
you
matter.
have
But like
200,000 replies? It's like, yeah, you're not
exactly,
reading.
but like me, I'm like, I have 30 comments on this. I'm going to see them all. Takes me about 2 seconds to read them, and I'm going to be like,
Yeah.
oh, creep, bye.
Weirdo.
It's just like, sorry, you're being
Filter
a
that shit
weirdo.
out. Gosh.
Just relax. Like,
Yeah. I hope none of our questions are creepy.
No,
I
I
feel
think
like
they'll be fine.
okay, good.
So one last music one before we get to
Oh,
our last segment. When you make an album like Clean, how much like thought or I don't know process do you put into what order the songs go to? Because like you listen to this album and it plays really really well start to finish, which is great. How much like thought do you put into like not just the songs you've made obviously, but like what the order is particularly?
I remember being in class and writing down every song title and writing notes on where in the progression of my life the song was, which happened
For
first,
this
and
record?
rating them like 1, 2, 3, 1, and getting one, and then later switching it, and then I was like all close to having it. And my A&R guy sent me the exact same thing, except with one song switched. Like, I wanted to switch one, and I was like, okay, this is good then.
This is like
I was like, I'm just going to switch those two, and we're fine.
And how difficult is it then to like know when you play a live performance you have to switch the order, right? Because you don't want it to be like, literally just the album start to finish. Obviously, you have other music
That'd be
that you
cool.
play.
Or do you? Or you,
No,
you
I
should do
don't.
that. Front to back.
No, but I mean, or do you wish you could sometimes just be like, I want to play this front to back because I know that I like how that all sounds together
as a
as a
project.
project.
I think it's just different live. Like, I feel like it's less of like a progressional of your life. I think it could be cool to do a situation where you played it front to back.
Yeah.
But I also don't play every song on the album on the tour.
I mean, and
so,
you have other music that you also obviously
yeah,
play.
I feel like I usually try to start with the older ones and then switch to the newer ones and kind of play them through in a kind of dynamic way. Because I just knew, I mean, like, some of them just have to go by each other too because of tunings. So it's just like,
Okay.
I'm just like, oh, these
more
two
reason
in
to
like
it
open
than
A are gonna go together,
Yeah.
and like they're gonna go after all the standard tuning ones, and then like I kind of think about it like in comparison to when the other guys have to tune, and
Oh,
like
okay.
when I'm gonna have to switch guitars, like to
Yeah.
make the breaks at good times. So it's
Yeah.
just it's never that hard. It's just kind of like what feels good, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, what was the number one song that you ranked when you listed it all out? Do you remember?
I think it was originally Your Dog.
Okay. Is that why that one was a single?
No,
Was that that was the first single, right?
Yes.
For the record?
Yes.
Okay, cool. That wasn't the reason
no,
why.
it wasn't. I mean, usually they want you to do ones at the beginning of the record,
Okay.
though. So
Makes
that's
sense.
why the first three
Makes
are the
sense.
first
Okay,
two
fair enough.
singles. And those
See?
are just also
Little
like
insight.
those are just like I don't know the catchier like immediately
Yeah.
ones. And people loved Still Clean live for a I was playing that one live for like a year, so
Yeah. To hit.
people
Great.
liked it live.
All right, we got a bunch of random questions. We'll go quick though.
round.
These are ideal. Yeah, kind of in a way. Ideally, these are questions that you haven't been asked before. First one: who's the most famous person in your cell phone?
In my cell phone,
Yeah.
maybe Kesha's mom.
What? You have Kesha's
I
mom?
know.
You want to call her?
No.
Would she answer?
She'd probably be like, "Who is this?"
Why you guys why you
How did you get her
Because,
number?
well, okay, her mom.
She lives in
her
Nashville,
mom
right?
is like friends with like my mom's friends. Like her and my mom hang out sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, and I got her number for some reason in like middle school, and I think it's still in my phone. So like she would probably. I mean, maybe she would be like, if I picked up and I was like, "Hey, this is like Michelle's daughter," she would like,
Yeah.
maybe, but I would never call her.
have you met Kesha then?
Yes,
Okay.
Really?
yes, I have.
That's pretty
She's
cool.
been in my house.
What?
Yeah, I don't want to. I
How?
don't want to go
We
on
don't need to go.
Kesha too much. She
we
probably
don't.
does not know my name.
We don't. That's fine. We interviewed K-Flay too. K-Flay had Kesha's
They had
number too.
K-
So this is like a
Very
reoccurring
nice.
thing.
Shamir had Jack Antonoff's mom's
Moms.
number.
And I was like,
I have
that's one of my
Phoebe's
mother's-
mom's number.
Really?
Why your mother?
First
Yeah.
night she gave me her number. She was like, we're having a Super Bowl party.
Oh my god. At Phoebe Bridgers' house?
Yeah, I didn't go.
Oh.
We had like a thing the next
Okay,
day.
of course,
But-
of course. Go ahead.
Trippie Redd or Sway Lee?
Trippie Redd.
Easy.
That wasn't that easy, but I'm really into Trippie Redd.
You're really,
He was really
you're ready for
confident.
that.
I'm just
Seems like.
really into Trippie Redd right now.
It seems to be the
Yeah.
thing.
I
like Sway a
love
lot.
Sway Lee too,
Yeah.
though.
Of course.
But-
That's good. Do you normally talk about Trippie Redd and Sway Lee in interviews? I
No.
hope not.
I
Okay,
do.
good.
I do talk about Trippie Redd sometimes. But
That's good. That's good. Did they put out the song of the year? That song they did together?
No.
No, I really love the Trippie Redd song that isn't out, but it's on
Oh.
YouTube.
Oh, okay. Okay.
TR666.
Okay.
Love that
I think-
song.
all right. That's good to know. Oh crap! Here's another one. Who are Lindsay and Karina?
Oh wow, that's people from high school. That's my
That's a
friends
real
from high
thing?
school. Yeah.
They have like a YouTube channel or
Yes.
something? Or they do like songs?
Yes.
So that's real people?
Yeah, they're
You know
people
them?
from high school. Yeah, they're friends
Like
from high
of
school.
yours?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's crazy. I actually just got a Snapchat from Lindsay today.
Really?
Yeah, or was
Are
it
they
yesterday?
still doing music?
Huh?
Are they still doing music?
I don't know if they still. I don't think they still play together. But they both play. They probably do like occasionally, but they don't like regularly play together. I don't think they're still
should
really
cover
good
a song.
friends. I think they just like
Yeah.
are doing.
I'm glad that wasn't totally
Creepy.
No, it wasn't.
I mean, it was probably a little
It
weird,
wasn't.
but that's fine. That's like we like to toe the line as far as like creepy and interesting.
Fuck, marry, kill. Angel, Spike, or Xander from Buffy.
Angel will die. That's a quick one.
That was easy.
I'd probably marry Spike. I don't want to. I guess Xander is the other one, but
yeah.
I don't know.
You're left in a tough
That's
situation.
that's a one-time thing, I guess.
Okay, fair enough. Wait, have you ever been in a Harry Potter themed musical?
No, I know
Never?
what that is though.
Is that a real thing?
Yes.
It's a Harry Potter themed musical. How do you know
It's just like
about
a thing on YouTube.
it? Really?
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
I
Wait.
wasn't in one though. No.
Oh, that would have been really awesome.
No, God.
Wait,
I've never
fuck,
done a musical and won't.
ever.
Never.
Did you not like the idea of musicals? Or?
No, God.
Yeah.
Oh my
It sounds-
God. I don't even hate the idea. It's just like,
Would you write the songs for a musical?
yeah, I'd maybe do that, but it'd have to be like, they would not sound musical theater-y.
Hmm.
That sound just like is just a vibe killer.
Okay, so not a big musical.
I'm not-
Found that out.
I'm
It's
not
good.
really.
Wait, real quick then. Fuck, marry, kill. Harry, Ron, or Hermione. Are you familiar with
None
Harry
of
Potter?
them. Yes.
Okay,
I wouldn't.
cool.
None of them.
None of them. All right, I like that. Do you have a favorite
Hermione's
Harry
cool. I
Okay.
guess.
I was wondering if you
The
had
other
like a
two are
favorite.
kind of, I mean, they're kind of dorky. I don't know.
Yeah,
they're
they
not
suck.
my
No,
vibe.
Ron sucks. Ron's
Harry,
like the
Harry's-
worst. Harry and
Harry's
Harry.
the worst.
Harry
is
after
the
book 5.
worst.
Harry's
He
the
gets so
worst.
moody.
No, Harry's just a shitty wizard
he's
to
not
begin
even
with.
moody. He's just like annoying. He like thinks he's like the shit kind of, but like
He's not a
but
good
isn't
wizard.
just gonna say it.
He won't say
He's
it.
not just gonna be like I'm the shit.
Yeah.
He's like, oh no, I don't. But I'm like, you
He's-
think you're the fucking shit.
He knows. He fucking knows. God damn it. Harry.
If you could make a song with one of the following, who would you pick? Taylor Swift, Lana, or Paula Abdul? Lana Ray, obviously.
Lana.
Yes.
Lana?
Yeah, I know who Lana is. Yeah, I would say
I
Lana.
was like, for listeners, I was like, well,
Yeah.
Paula,
Why-
her glory days have passed.
That's why it would be great. You could bring it back.
No, I don't know if it would come back like that. I'm not the vibe for her. She's gotta
Okay.
she's gotta have that like, that disco fucking like
Okay.
poppy.
You're right. Your sound is not very similar to
doesn't- it
Paula
doesn't
Abdul's. Yeah, that's fine. Honestly, how I first knew
She could dance to it.
there you go.
That'd
There
be
you go.
pretty cool.
There you go.
Can
That'd
she
be good.
still
yeah.
dance?
I don't know.
I mean,
all I
I'm
know
sure
is from
she
his American
can,
Idol.
but like,
Yeah, same.
Of course, Paula Abdul.
I don't know if she
She's
does
probably still
still.
fit. Yeah. All right. Last question. Is Avril Lavigne dead or alive?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Ooh,
Have you heard this
I
conspiracy theory?
have.
Yes. Okay.
Let's
work it out right here.
I
Let's
just
figure it out.
feel like she's alive because she just hasn't changed.
What?
But she has.
No, I mean sound has,
Oh,
but like
okay.
as a person, she's still like that 2000s. Like
She's stuck in the
she's
past,
not
maybe?
some industry plant right now. You know what I mean?
Is she?
No.
Like she just doesn't seem. If she was an industry plant, she'd be doing better. Do you know what I mean? Like,
But would she, though?
like
Wouldn't
I
it be
saw
like-
her like. I have a picture that she posted
Bring it
on
up.
her
Come
Twitter.
on.
She was just being like
That's a
in
good
the
point.
studio.
No, but don't you think like
And it
if
was like-
the industry would be like, oh, we can do this, and then they'd like fail at it because Avril was the one with the talent, and they were just like,
But the
trying to
second album
replicate
was good.
But
Was-
what's the last
It was the stuff they recorded before she died.
pre-recorded?
Okay, that's true. but even but
Allegedly.
think about it. Best Damn Thing, good song.
There's
It is some good
Girlfriend, good song. She posted this on Twitter.
girlfriend.
She was like in late night in
studio.
the studio, and I was
Anyway.
like, "That's so
Good
her."
radio.
And she posted this too. She's like throwback or something, and I was like,
what a throwback.
I was like,
Girl,
girl,
self-built
I was like,
person.
girl, you're the same.
I will tell
I don't
you.
know. It's just like I feel like if she was an industry plant, she wouldn't still.
more
She would
successful.
just like have changed with the industry. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
She would have like if she's getting fed, like they can find a pop
The
writer to
insider.
write songs for her.
Yeah, big enough.
You know what I
hits.
mean? They
Just
can
get her,
like
just
get
top line it.
they can get like fucking like Taylor Swift to write some songs for her and make her punk pop or
Absolutely.
pump pop
Pu-
pop
Ooh.
punk.
There you go. Would you open an Avril
Yes.
Lavigne tour? Like Heartbeat? You
Yes.
wouldn't even, that would be
Why,
so
why would I say no?
I don't know.
I
Maybe
mean, like,
you,
yeah, it would be some lame shit, but like,
Yeah, yeah,
Some-
exactly.
You get like one light on this big ass stage. They'd probably
Sound is at like 30%.
my thing is she just like stayed so like emo, like Evanescence-y.
Would you open Evanescence tour?
Probably not.
That'd be so.
She stayed that way when its time had passed
Yeah.
and when it wasn't like good anymore. She stayed that way, and that just makes me think like that's really her. That's just her at heart. You
That
know what I
she-
mean?
she capitalized on the time
If
that
it
was
wasn't
popular.
her at heart, she would have just kept capitalizing,
Yeah.
and she
Granted,
did not.
I'm sure she's still doing just fine.
She's
for
doing
herself,
great. She has
so.
like millions of followers on
75
Twitter.
million.
I think she's like huge in Asia too.
Is she?
Yeah,
I've
she's
heard that
got
she
the
goes over
Hello
there and
Kitty
plays some
thing.
yeah, she
Oh.
plays some crazy shows over there. That whole girlfriend video was Asian. I think so.
Was that? I don't think that was that one.
One of them was. I don't know.
What the hell?
not.
Good song.
Yeah, something
good
like
song
that.
after she died.
There's some. No, there's some. Yeah, that seems like. Wait, but you are opening for Liz Fair, so
I
that's
am.
like the cool version of
Yeah.
the really cool, like respected.
I
version
feel
of
like
all this, so
Avril
you did
Lavigne
well. Was
came
inspired.
from Liz Fair. Like the pop
so, too.
album. That sounds like Avril Lavigne. That sounds like complicated. That
Yeah.
you know.
Was the Liz Fair thing when you heard about it? You were like, yes, absolutely.
Yes. It was
You
instant.
didn't- Instant. That's pretty.
It's
fucking
pretty cool. I mean, I wasn't,
Yeah,
I wasn't
it's
gonna be
like-
like,
All this
How
stuff's
does
gotta
my
be sold
June
out.
look?
Yeah, like gotta really negotiate this one. Fuck no,
Yeah.
that'd be tight. Yeah, that's cool. All right, seems like the perfect spot to end. Thank you so
Cool.
much for sitting
Thank
down
you.
with us. Good luck on the rest of the tour. Good luck with this fair. Stay healthy. We'll see you soon.
thank you.
Yes, yes, and that was Soccer Mommy.
Soccer mommy.
Soccer Mommy. I wish that we had more Soccer Mom jokes.
Yeah, we really like.
It's an
should've-
incredible band name.
Yep.
And like, I feel like we're really missing out on that opportunity. And maybe this is a note to us that we need to prepare these
More
better.
puns.
Yeah, puns. Like, I know I was going to try to come up with one
Yep.
there, and I was going to stumble on my face. So I'm glad I didn't do it. But big thanks to Sophie for sitting down and chatting with us. She's been on a press run.
Yes.
She literally, in the last like few weeks before she sat down with us, she got interviewed by Rolling Stone, Fader, Nardwuar interviewed her, which is like a
Billboard,
big
like
thing.
everyone.
And then she somehow managed to sit down with us for like 40 minutes and just talk. So she's a good sport. Really appreciate that. And again, we don't stop, folks, because we'll be back next week with another episode. Al, who do we got next week?
Next week we have a really fun band, the Accidentals.
Yes.
Straight from Detroit again. Another Detroit artist.
Well, Michigan artist.
Oh yeah, might be.
Michigan.
Michigan.
You know, I'm sure that they're close enough to Detroit. Actually, I don't know. We
don't
talk
know.
about that actually,
Yeah.
which is cool. It's cool. A three-part band.
Three-part band.
You know, if you listen to the past episodes of ours, you know that we kind of stick in the indie rock to electronic genre, but this one we kind of break out of it. This
Mm-hmm.
is more folk rock. I mean, they do a lot of stuff though.
Yeah, I wouldn't try to nail them down to one label either,
Right.
one genre, but yeah,
Right.
they're a little bit different. Again, they were super nice.
Yeah, geniuses, way smarter than us. All three of them were way smarter than
Why
us.
is everyone always smarter than this?
We're not very smart. That's why we got a podcast.
Yep.
That's why we do that. That's why we interview the smart people.
Yep, exactly.
Exactly. So we'll be back next week for the Accidentals. Again, thanks for listening to All My Friends, episode 13.
Love you.
Peace.